Still you. The city disappears behind the curtains, and the room gets quieter than before. I hear the clock moving through the darkness, like it's counting everything we lost. Your old sweater is still on the chair. I should probably put it away, but every time I reach to move it, I remember how you used to stay. I tell myself I'm getting better, I tell myself I'm letting go, but when the night becomes as quiet, you're the only thing I know. There's an empty side of midnight where I still look for you. An empty side of midnight where every dream feels true. I can make it through the daytime, I can smile like nothing is wrong, but the empty side of midnight still remembers you when you're gone. I drove past our old neighborhood, the street lights look the same. For a second I could see us walking like the years had never changed. I remember all the little moments that nobody else would understand. The way you used to reach for my hand without ever having to ask. Maybe that's what I keep missing, not the words of what went wrong, just the feeling of somebody who made the lonely nights feel gone. There's an empty side of midnight where I still look for you. An empty side of midnight where every dream feels true. I can make it through the daytime, I can smile like nothing's wrong, but the empty side of midnight still remembers you when you're gone. If you're away somewhere tonight, looking at the same dark sky, maybe there's a little part of you that still remembers you and I don't need you to come back, I don't need another chance. I just wish that for one moment we could go back to who we were. There's an empty side of midnight still waiting in my room. An empty side of midnight still leading me to you. Maybe someday I'll stop searching, maybe someday I'll move on, but tonight the empty side of midnight still remembers where you belong. Midnight again, same silence, and somehow it still sounds like you. I don't miss everything, I just miss the way I felt when I was with you. The city is asleep beneath the rain, and I'm driving with your memory again. Every street light passes through the glass, like another piece of everything we had. I remember sitting beside you with nowhere to go and nothing to prove. The whole world could've disappeared outside, and it would've been alright. You were never just a person, you were somewhere I could breathe. Now every place feels temporary since you stopped being here with me. You were the last place I felt safe, the only place I didn't have to hide. You were the last place I felt safe, where I could leave my fears outside. Now I'm sleeping with the lights on, trying to convince myself I'm fine. But you were the last place I felt safe, and I still miss that feeling tonight. I remember your head against my shoulder, the way the silence never felt uncomfortable. You could look at me without saying a word, and somehow I knew exactly what you heard. Now I talk to myself in empty rooms, trying to fill the space you left too soon. I meet new people, hear new names, but nobody makes me feel the same. Maybe that's what hurts the deepest, not that you had to leave, but that you took a version of me nobody else could ever see. The last place I felt safe, the only place I didn't have to hide. You were the last place I felt safe, where I could leave my fears outside. Now I'm sleeping with the lights on, trying to convince myself I'm fine. But you were the last place I felt safe, and I still miss that feeling tonight. If I could have one more evening, I wouldn't ask you to stay. I'd just sit beside you quietly and remember how it felt that way. No promises, no questions, no future we have to plan. Just your hand inside my hand, and the feeling that I finally understand. And I still carry that with me. You were the last place I felt safe, the closest thing to home I'd ever seen. Maybe someday I'll find another place where I don't have to be afraid. But you were the last place I felt safe, and I'll never forget the way you made me feel. I don't miss everything, I miss who I was when I was with you. So memories fade, yours never learned how. I woke up before the sunrise, with your name already in my head. For a second I forgot you were gone, then I saw your empty side of the bed. The city slowly came alive, but I stayed underneath the sheets, trying to understand how someone can live and still be everywhere I breathe. I don't chase what we were. I don't ask the past to change. But every time I close my eyes, your memory wears a face. You're the memory that wears your face, the one I can't replace. I can forget the words we said, but I can't forget the way you made me feel. You're the memory that wears your face, still standing in the same old place. Even when I think I'm finally free, you find another way back into me. I heard your favorite song downtown, and suddenly the whole street disappeared. I could almost feel your fingers in mine, like you were walking beside me again. I passed the cafe where we used to sit. The table by the window is still there. Someone else was laughing in our place, and for a moment I forgot you weren't there. Maybe that's the cruelest part of loving someone who moved on. The world keeps replacing memories while your heart keeps holding on. The memory that wears your face, the one I can't replace. I can forget the words we said, but I can't forget the way you made me feel. You're the memory that wears your face, still standing in the same old place. Even when I think I'm finally free, you find another way back into me. Hey, hey, hey. Maybe one day I'll hear your name and it won't pull me underneath. Hey, hey. Maybe one day I'll remember us without wishing you were here with me. But tonight the moon is low and the room is quiet again, so I'll let myself remember before I learn to forget. You're the memory that wears your face, still living in the quietest place. I can change my life, change my view, but every road still reminds me of you. You're the memory that wears your face, and maybe that's what love became. Not something I can hold or make stay, just something I carry every day. The memory that wears your face, still looks at me when I close my eyes. It's past midnight, and somehow I'm thinking about you again. The street lights are fading through the curtains. The whole city is finally asleep. I'm lying here with my eyes wide open, listen to the silence underneath. Your memory doesn't knock before entering, it just appears when the lights go down. And suddenly this room feels smaller, like your presence is still somewhere around. I can make it through the daylight, I can keep my head held high, but there's something about the darkness that brings you back every time. There's a part of the night that belongs to you, a little piece of darkness I can't get through. Every time the world goes quiet, I can feel what we once knew. Part of the night that belongs to you, where every lonely thought comes looking for you. I could spend my whole day moving on, but midnight always proves me wrong. I remember your voice in the bedroom, soft enough to make the world disappear. You tell me things you never told anybody, and somehow I'd forget about my fears. Now I keep those memories underneath me, like letters that I never learned to burn. Some things don't disappear with distance, some things just wait for your return. Maybe I'm not waiting for you, maybe I'm waiting for the past, for one more night when everything didn't feel like it could never last. The night that belongs to you, a little piece of darkness I can't get through. Every time the world goes quiet, I can feel what we once knew. Part of the night that belongs to you, where every lonely thought comes looking for you. I can spend my whole day moving on, but midnight always proves me wrong. If you're awake somewhere tonight, maybe you're looking at the moon. Maybe you wonder if I ever still think about you. The answer isn't complicated, the truth is easier than that. Every night has a moment when I wish I could go back. There's a part of the night that belongs to you, still hiding in the spaces I move through. When the whole world disappears, I can still feel you near. There's a part of the night that belongs to you, and maybe I'll always carry it too. I can learn to live without your touch, but midnight still remembers us. It's almost morning, and for a little while you almost forgot that you're gone. It's different after midnight. Your name sounds different then. The whole apartment's quiet after 2, and every little sound reminds me of you. The refrigerator humming in the kitchen, the rain against the glass, the memories I can't outrun. I don't say your name when people ask, I tell them I'm okay and let the moment pass. But when the city disappears beneath the dark, your name comes back and finds the weakest part of my heart. Maybe it's the silence, maybe it's the hour, maybe I still love you more than I have power. I love the way your name sounds that night, when nobody's awake and the room has no light. It feels like you're standing right here, close enough to touch, close enough to hear. I can spend all day pretending I'm fine, but your name sounds different after midnight. It carries everything I couldn't say, and brings every memory back my way. I remember how you whispered you stayed. How you never needed words to make me feel okay. Your fingers tracing circles on my hand, like you already knew exactly where I'd stand. Now there's an empty space beside my pillow, and I still turn toward it when I dream. It's strange how the body keeps remembering what the heart is trying not to feel. Maybe I'm not lonely, maybe I just miss the way you make the silence feel like something beautiful. I love the way your name sounds at night when nobody's awake and the room has no light. It feels like you're standing right here, close enough to touch, close enough to hear. I can't spend all day pretending I'm fine, but your name sounds different after midnight. Carries everything I couldn't say and brings every memory back my way. If I said your name right now, would the walls remember too? Would the night pull back the years and leave me standing next to you? I wouldn't ask you to come back, I wouldn't ask you to stay. I just say your name on slowly and let the feeling have its way. So it's different after midnight. Yeah, love the way your name sounds at night, like a secret that still feels alive. Even though you're somewhere far away, your memory knows exactly how to stay. I can learn to live without your touch. I can tell myself I don't need much, but your name sounds different after midnight, and tonight it still sounds like love. Your name after midnight still sounds like home. The lights are fading. Somehow I remember everything. The last car disappears down the avenue, and every empty street reminds me of you. I turn the lights down low inside my room, like darkness might bring me closer to you. I remember nights without a plan, your fingers intertwined with my hand. We didn't need tomorrow figured out, we only needed each other right there. During the day I can't pretend that I'm finally moving on, but when the world falls asleep, every piece of you comes back. When the world sleeps, I remember us, every little thing we never discussed. The way you looked at me in the dark, the way you left your fingerprints on my heart. When the world sleeps, I remember you, all of the things that we used to do. I can spend the whole day letting go, but when the world sleeps, I still don't know how. There's a photograph beneath my bed, I don't look at it but I know it's there. Some memories don't need to be remembered, they wait quietly until the night arrives. I still know the rhythm of your breathing, the little sound you made before you fell asleep. I still remember how you pulled me closer, like you were afraid I'd disappear. Maybe that's why midnight hurts more than any goodbye. become something we carry. When the world sleeps, I remember us. Even after everything we've become, the nights we had still live inside, like little pieces of another life. When the world sleeps, I remember you, and every feeling comes back brand new. Maybe tomorrow I'll be stronger, but tonight I still remember us. When the world sleeps, I remember us. And for a moment, you're here again. I know that sound, the quiet before goodbye. You never slammed the door, you always closed it slow, like leaving me with something you didn't want me to know. You grab your coat from the chair, look at me then look away, and I pretend I didn't notice you were already halfway gone. I learned the sound of your footsteps, the rhythm of your keys, the little pause before you touch the handle, like you were waiting for me. And every time you said I'll see you soon, I heard something different in the way you moved. I memorized the way you leave, the way your eyes avoid my eyes, the way you take your time, like you're hoping I'll ask you to stay tonight. I memorized the way you leave, every silence, every sign, and even when you're standing here, I'm already scared you're saying goodbye. You leave your perfume on my jacket, your coffee sitting by the sink, little pieces of your presence that gave me something else to think. I replay the night for hours, looking for a different line, something I could've said to make you stay, something that could've changed your mind. But love isn't a locked door, and hearts don't work that way. You can't hold somebody closer and make them choose to stay. Still I watch the hallway every time you walked away, like maybe this would be the night you turn around and stay. I memorize the way you leave, the way your eyes avoid my eyes, the way you take your time, like you're hoping I'll ask you to stay tonight. I memorize the way you leave, every silence, every sign, and even when you're standing here, I'm already scared you're saying goodbye. Maybe that's why I hold you tighter when I know you're getting cold. Maybe that's why every goodbye feels heavier than it should. I don't wanna own your heart, I just don't know how to lose it when you walk away from me. Every part of me still follows. So take your time, close the door slowly, let me hear those footsteps one more time. I memorize the way you leave, but I never learned how to let you go. I memorized every goodbye, but I still don't know when it's every shadow in the hall, and maybe that's the saddest part. I remember everything at all. I memorized the way you leave, because I never knew which goodbye would be the one you meant. The room is dark, the city barely moves. I'm lying where we used to lose the afternoon. The sheets are cold beneath my restless hands, but my body still remembers where you used to stand. I changed the pillows, washed the covers twice. Still your memory survives beneath the white. There's something cruel about an empty bed. It gives every thought a place to live inside my head. I don't need another picture, I don't need to hear your voice. My body keeps remembering, even when my mind says no. The bed still remembers you. Every place you used to fall, the bed still remembers you. Even when I change it all, every night I turn around, looking for you without a sound. The bed still remembers you, and I don't know how to forget. I remember waking up before the sun, finding your eyes already looking at me. You pull the blanket closer to your skin, and I pretend that morning couldn't take you. Now the sunrise feels colder than before, 'cause there's nobody sleeping by my side anymore. I keep reaching out in the middle of the night, only to find an empty space beneath the light. Maybe rooms can't hold a feeling, maybe walls can't learn a name. Maybe this is why I'm still here, trying not to feel the same. The bed still remembers you. Every place you used to fall, the bed still remembers you. Even when I change it all, every night I turn around, looking for you without a sound. The bed still remembers you, and I don't know how to forget. You came back without a warning, I make no questions tonight. I pull you underneath the covers and let the darkness make it right. No talking about tomorrow, no asking where we've been, just close enough to remember how we used to fit within. The bed still remembers you, like you never left it all. The bed still remembers you. Every whisper, every call, when the room goes cold and blue, I still make space for you. The bed still remembers you, and maybe I wanted to. The bed still remembers you, and I still sleep on your side. asleep beneath the rain. I'm wide awake replaying yesterday. Your voice comes back between the passing cars, like something broken still knows where we are. I found an old note underneath my keys, 3 little words that brought me to my knees. I thought I buried everything we knew, but every quiet corner leads to you. I don't chase your memory, it just knows where to find me. Every time the night gets deep, you come rushing underneath. You're the echo you left in me, still moving underneath my skin. You're the echo you left in me, still calling where the silence begins. I can change the room, change the view, but every empty space turns into you. You're the echo you left in me, and I don't know how to make it leave. I stopped taking roads that pass your street, stop listening for your footsteps underneath. But sometimes when the headlights cross the wall, I swear your shadow is about to call. There's a part of me that never said goodbye. It just learned how to hide beneath the daylight. Then midnight comes and pulls the curtain down, and suddenly you're everywhere around. I could tell myself it's over, I could say I found my peace, but the moment everything gets quiet, you return to me. You're the echo you left in me, still moving underneath my skin. You're the echo you left in me, still calling where the silence begins. Can change the room, change the view, but every empty space turns into you. You're the echo you left in me, and I don't know how to make it leave. Maybe I don't need to lose you, maybe I just need to understand. Some people leave your life but never leave the person that they change. So if you're somewhere under another sky, and you ever wonder if I think about that time, the answer lives inside these midnight rooms, where every road I take still leads to you. You're the echo you left in me, still breathing underneath the blue. You're the echo you left in me, still making everything feel like you. When the morning takes the dark away, I'll hide it underneath another day. But when the night comes back to me, your echo comes back too. You're the echo you left in me, and maybe that's the part I never wanna lose. The room is dark, but I can see the rain moving slowly down the window pane. I wonder if you're lying somewhere wide awake, thinking about the promises we couldn't make. Your voice still lives inside my favorite song. I hear it every time the night gets long. I tell myself that time will make it fade, but some memories get stronger when they're left alone. Maybe you're already moving on, maybe I'm the only one still counting every minute since the night you left. These are the hours before you forget me. and I'm holding on to them tonight. I keep your old messages beneath my screen, not reading them, just knowing what they mean. One little sentence could destroy my peace. One memory could bring me to my knees. I wonder if you ever pass our street and feel the same pressure underneath your chest. Maybe you slow down without knowing why. Maybe you remember how we used to lose the time. I don't need to know the answer, I don't need to hear the truth. Sometimes wondering about you is all I have left to do. These are the hours before you forget me, before my name becomes a distant sound. These are the hours when I still believe there's somewhere you're still looking for me now. If there's a part of you that hasn't disappeared, if there's a little space where I still belong, these are the hours before you forget me, and I'm holding on to them tonight. If tomorrow makes us strangers, let tonight remain untouched. Let me keep the way you looked at me before we lost too much. I won't ask you to come running, I won't ask you to stay. Just don't erase me completely before the night turns into day. These are the hours before you forget me, before the memories lose their sound. These are the hours when I still feel you, even though you're nowhere around. If there's a part of you that remembers us, I'll carry that until the morning comes. These are the hours before you forget me, and I don't want them to end. These are the hours before you forget me. Maybe you haven't forgotten me yet. I took the long way home beneath the streetlights, windows down, letting cold air fill the inside. The seat beside me feels too empty tonight, like you might turn around and ask me if I'm alright. Your favorite song is playing through the speakers. I almost laugh when I remember how you'd sing it. The city passes underneath the dashboard glow, but every road still takes me where I don't wanna go. I don't know why I keep driving when I already know the way. Every road becomes a memory, every memory makes me stay. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, riding through the night with me. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, close enough to make me believe. I reach for you at every red light, and remember you're not by my side. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, and it won't let me drive away. There's a coffee stain beneath the cup holder from the night you said you never leave me over. I kept that little mark for way too long, like proof that what we had was never wrong. The highway disappears beneath the rain. I hear you laugh inside the engine again. I know it's only memories playing tricks, but sometimes missing you feels almost physical. Maybe I'm afraid of getting home, because that's where the silence waits. Out here, I can't pretend you're with me for a few more miles of highway. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, riding through the night with me. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, close enough to make me believe. I reach for you at every red light, and remember you're not by my side. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, and it won't let me drive. If I could stop this car forever, I'd keep driving through the dark, because somewhere between these headlights you're still close enough to touch. No goodbye on the radio, no ending in the rearview glass. Just one more mile beside you before the night becomes the past. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, still breathing underneath the music. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, still making every mile confusing. When the sunrise starts to break, I know you're gone again, but until the morning finds me, I'll pretend you're here instead. Your ghost is in the passenger seat, and tonight that's enough for me. You always smile when you were hurting, like nobody could see beneath your eyes. You changed the subject when it got too close, then laugh and tell me you were fine. But I knew you better than you thought I did. I knew the silence underneath your words, the way you reached for my hand without thinking, whenever the world became too much. And maybe that's what I miss more than anything you said. No, in all the places where you kept your heart instead. I still know where you hide your heart, behind that smile, behind those eyes. I still know where you fall apart when you're alone at night. You can tell the world you're over me. You can say you finally moved on, but I still know where you hide your heart. And I wonder if I'm still there. You never liked the sound of thunder, so you pretend you weren't afraid. I'd pull you closer when the sky got louder, and you'd fall asleep against my chest. Now every storm reminds me of you, every flash of light brings back your face. I wonder who holds you when you're frightened, and if they know the things I used to know. Maybe someone else knows your secrets, maybe someone else knows your fears, but there's a part of you I remember that still feels like it belongs here. You know where you hide your heart, behind that smile, behind those eyes. I still know where you fall apart when you're alone at night. You can tell the world you're over me. You can say you finally moved on, bed, or every night we spend inside that little room. Funny how the mindless moments disappear, but keeps the things it isn't ready to lose. I remember your hands around my waist, the way you smiled before you looked away, the little breath you took before a kiss, like you already knew you'd miss me. Maybe memories choose for us the pieces that survive, and somehow every piece of you still keeps you alive. The last thing I remember about you is the way you looked at me that night, like you wanted to stay forever, but knew you had to say goodbye. The last thing I remember about you is your hand slipping out of mine, and I still replay that moment like I could change it every time. The street was almost empty when you left. A little rain was falling through the lights. You turned around before you disappeared and gave me one last look I can't forget. I wanted to run after you, I wanted to say everything I couldn't say, but pride held my feet against the pavement and watched you slowly walk away. Maybe we were both too frightened to admit what we had lost. Maybe love was still between us, but we couldn't pay the cost. The last thing I remember about you is the way you looked at me that night, like you wanted to stay forever, but knew you had to say goodbye. The last thing I remember about you is your hand slipping out of mine, and I still replay that moment like I could change it every time. If I had one more minute before you disappeared, I'd forget about my anger, I'd tell you why I cared. I wouldn't ask you for forever, I wouldn't make you choose. I'd just hold you a little longer and say I never wanted to lose you. The last thing I remember about you still follows me into my dreams. The last thing I remember about you is more powerful than it seems. Even after all these years, I can still see those eyes. The last thing I remember about you was the love behind goodbye. The last thing I remember about you is that you look back, and I wish I had run after you. Left the curtains open like before, the city paints the shadows on the floor. Your side of the room is empty now, but I still catch myself looking around. There's an old photograph beneath the frame, I never turn it over, never say your name. Some memories don't need a place to stay, they find a quiet corner and refuse to fade. I thought the darkness would be easier if I stopped looking for you, but every night I leave one light on, like I still expect you to come through. There's a light you left in Hear the elevator stop outside, and for a second my heart forgets you're gone. I hear footsteps moving down the hallway, and silence tells me I was wrong. Your favorite mug is still inside the cabinet. I don't use it, but I never put it away. Maybe I'm keeping more than an object. Maybe I'm keeping one more yesterday. I know the past can't knock forever. I know the morning has to come, but some nights I need the darkness to pretend that you're not gone. There's a light you left in my window, and I can't turn it off tonight. It shines through every lonely hour, like a memory refusing to die. I can close the curtains forever. I can hide from everything we knew, but there's a light you left in my window, and somehow it still leads me to you. Maybe someday I'll open the curtains, and the room won't feel the same. Maybe your memory will become a whisper instead of calling out your name. But until that morning finds me, I'll let this little light remain. Not because I'm waiting for you, just because I loved you once this way. There's a light you left in my window, still shining through the blue. There's a light you left in my window, and tonight it reminds me of you. I don't know where tomorrow takes me. I don't know what I'll become, but I'll leave one light inside the window until I'm ready to turn it on. The light you left in my window was the last thing I couldn't let go. Morning comes in through the curtains, but it doesn't feel like morning anymore. Your coffee cup is gone from the kitchen, still I keep looking where it was before. I hear the neighbors moving upstairs, a car starts somewhere down the street. The world keeps going like nothing happened, while I'm still learning how to breathe. I thought I'd get used to the silence, I thought the days would make it fade, but every little thing around me still remembers the shape you made. The room feels different after you, even when nothing's moved. The walls still hold the sound of your voice, the air still carries pieces of you. I can open every window, I can change the sheets tonight, but the room feels different after you, and I don't know how to make it right. I found your hair tied underneath the table, something so small but I couldn't throw it away. I held it in my hand for a minute, like holding it could make you stay. Your favorite song came on the radio, I turned it down before the chorus came, because I knew those words would take me straight back to the night you walked away. Maybe supposed to vanish. Maybe they're supposed to change. Maybe someday I'll hear your name and it won't feel like home feels different after you. Even when nothing's moved, the walls still hold the sound of your voice. The air still carries pieces of you. I can open every window. I can't change the sheets tonight, but the room feels different after you. And I don't know how to make it right. If you ever come back here, I wonder if you notice too how the room got colder the moment it stopped holding you. Maybe you'll stand by the doorway and remember what we were. Maybe you'll feel the silence and understand why it still hurts. Room feels different after you, but I'm finally starting new. I'm learning that an empty space can slowly become something new. I won't keep the light on forever. I won't wait beside the door. Room feels different after you, but maybe it won't forevermore. The room feels different after you, but someday it'll feel like mine again. The rain came down the night you left, streetlights bleeding through the glass. I watched your silhouette disappear and wondered how we come to this. Your jacket still hangs behind the door, like you might reach for it again. I never moved it from that place. I guess I'm not as strong as I pretend. Every storm brings back that evening, every drop remembers you. I can close my eyes and almost feel the way you held me too. I wonder what it rains like on your side. Does the sky look different where you are tonight? Do you ever stand beside your window and remember how we used to lose track of time? I'm still underneath the same old clouds, still wondering if you think of me somehow. I wonder what it rains like on your side, and if it sounds the way it did when you were mine. I drove past our corner yesterday. The little cafe was still there. Someone was sitting by the window in the exact same chair. For a second I imagined you turning around and smiling at me. Then the light changed and I kept driving back into reality. Maybe distance changes nothing. Maybe time just teaches pain, how to live inside your body without calling out your name. I wonder what it rains like on your side. Does the sky look different where you are tonight? Do you ever stand beside your window and remember how we used to lose track of time? I'm still underneath the same old clouds, still wondering if you think of me somehow. I wonder what it rains like on your side. you remember it all. I wonder what it rains like on your side. If you ever miss me when the thunder starts. If you ever hear our old song and feel that little ache inside your heart. I'm still underneath these clouds tonight, but I'm learning how to let the memories pass by. I wonder what it rains like on your side. And if you ever wonder about mine, the rain keeps falling. Maybe somewhere you're listening to. I still remember that December rain. You standing by the window, hiding all your pain. You said you needed time to figure yourself out. I said I'd wait, though I knew what that meant by now. You left your keys beside the coffee cup, like you'd be back before the sun came up. I watched your silhouette disappear and spent the whole night wishing you were here. Baby, I only know my version. Baby, I never heard the truth. Baby, there was something in your silence you were trying to tell me to. I still want your side of the story, not to change what happened between us. I just wanna know what you were feeling when you stopped believing in us. Were you hurting when you walked away? Did you miss me on the other side? I still want your side of the story, even if it breaks my heart tonight. I deleted every message that you sent and spent 3 nights wishing I hadn't. Funny how we throw away the evidence and still remember every word of it. I heard you found somebody new. I told my friends that I was happy for you, but later underneath the bed you lied. I wondered if you ever think of me at night. Maybe I don't need forgiveness, maybe I don't need you back. I just need to understand where we lost what we had. I still want your side of the story, not to change what happened between us. I just wanna know what you were feeling when you stopped believing in us. Were you hurting when you walked away? Did you miss me on the other side? I still want your side of the story, even if it breaks my heart tonight. If we met again someday, would you tell me what you couldn't say? Would you look me in the eyes and finally explain goodbye? I wouldn't ask you to stay, I wouldn't ask you to return. Some questions aren't meant to save a love, they're just meant to let it burn. I still want your side of the story, even after all this time. I still wonder what was happening behind those tired eyes of mine. If you ever loved me honestly, then maybe that's enough to know. I still want your side of the story before I finally let you go. Your side of the story, the one thing I never got to hear. You don't have to tell me when you're hurting. I can hear it in the way you say my name. There's a distance hiding in your breathing, like you're standing here but already far away. I know the pause before you answer. I know the look you give the floor. I know when you're pretending not to need me, and when you're secretly wishing for more. You can hide behind your silence. You can tell me you're okay, but I've learned every little difference in the way you pull away. I know the sound of your silence. I know what you don't say. I hear your heart getting quieter when you're trying to walk away. You don't have to tell me you miss me. Your eyes already gave you away. I know the sound of your silence, and I still hear it every day. There were nights you lie beside me, with your back turned toward the light. I reach across the space between us and feel you slowly come alive. You never asked me to stay closer. You never had to say a word. Your hand will find mine underneath the covers, and suddenly the whole world disappeared. Maybe that's what made us dangerous. We could feel without a sound. Every secret underneath our skin was something we figured out. I know the sound of your silence. I know what you don't say. I hear your heart getting quieter when you're trying to walk away. You don't have to tell me you miss me. Your eyes already gave you away. I know the sound of your silence, and I still hear it every day. If you're lying somewhere lonely, with the lights turned down low, maybe you're remembering the things only I would know. The way you breathe when you're nervous, the way you hide when you're scared, the way you reach for somebody when you don't want to admit you care. So don't say you're fine. I know that voice, I heard it before. I know the sound of your silence, even after all this time. I know the space between your words and everything you leave behind. If someday you stop pretending and decide to cross that distance again, I know before you say a word. I know the moment you walk in. I know the sound of your silence, because I learned it by heart.